Hey y'all, I'm back. I wanted to talk some more about that prepaid debit card fraud situation that I went through. One thing that I didn't mention before is that the name of the card that I was using is the Walmart Money Card, and that's issued by Green Dot Corporation and GE Money Bank. And like I had mentioned before, I was using that card for about 8 years, and up until that point never had any problems. But one thing that I erroneously assumed before I opened up my account is that there were identity theft and fraud protections in place, and that was a big mistake. One of the main reasons why I signed up to get the card in the first place is because I thought that it would be safer to use a prepaid card rather than a bank ATM card or debit card over the internet to pay bills or to buy things over the internet. And I didn't want to risk giving my banking information to a disreputable website or having my information exposed to hackers. So I opted to use prepaid debit cards instead. But the drawback is that with many of these prepaid debit cards, there's no real safeguards to protect against people getting a hold of your information and using your card unauthorized. And the reason why I say that is because apparently Green Dot has no software or computer programs that would prevent an identity thief from using a customer's card information to make purchases. Many years ago, I used to have an account with a major bank. The bank did have safeguards against fraud and identity theft. Several years ago, I went to a Best Buy to make a major purchase. I was buying a laptop for about $1,500, and when I got to the register, my bank card was declined. The cashier told me that the bank probably put a hold on the transaction to prevent suspected fraud and that I would need to call my bank. So I left the store and went to my car and called the bank, and I was able to verify my identity and that I was in fact attempting to buy a laptop. They unfreezed my account and I was able to buy the laptop. It was a minor inconvenience for me, but at the same time, it was a benefit because it protected me from identity theft. And what the banking representative told me is that Best Buy has a high incidence of fraudulent activity, and that is why they blocked, put the block on my account. And I've also had several instances where I traveled out of town and out of state. I was unable to use my debit card because my purchases flagged as suspicious activity with the bank. You see, most banks use software programs and algorithms to determine unusual purchasing patterns and activities on their customers' accounts. And they use these programs in order to detect and to prevent fraud. And I'm almost certain that had someone got a hold of my information and started using it in a foreign country, the bank would have took the same action and froze my account, unlike what happened with my Walmart Money Card prepaid debit card. And I think I told this story before, but I have a relative who somehow her debit card and banking card information was compromised, and someone attempted to use her debit card, but the bank that she does business with blocked those transactions because they appeared suspicious and out of the ordinary for her. Because the banks know the history of all of the transactions that have occurred on your account, and they are aware of what is normal and abnormal for each of their customers. So that lack of identity theft protection and safeguards with the prepaid debit cards is a major drawback and something that you might want to consider as a consumer of these types of products and services. It says right here that they offer $0 liability guarantee should your card be lost or stolen. Bank of America will credit fraudulent charges made with your card back to your account as soon as the next business day. And fraud monitoring reviews how and where your card is being used and is designed to help block potential fraud if abnormal patterns are detected. And this is what SunTrust does to ensure the security of their customers' accounts. They have secure transmissions and encryption using industry standard protocols, encrypts sensitive data for secure transmissions. Down here it says that they offer 24/7 account monitoring, means your account activity is protected and secured. We are continually monitoring our security measures to protect your transactions and to help protect unauthorized activity or identity theft.